Welcome to the Heart to Heartland podcast. Here are your hosts.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Heart to Heartland. I'm Isabelle.
And I'm Soile, and unfortunately, Isa looks like
Normal
herself.
today.
Yeah. Not
Thank
unfortunately.
God. Did you say unfortunately you liked looking at me dressed as
Well,
Jack
it
or
was funny.
something?
Well, I like
True,
watching
it
both
was.
of
I
you.
thought it was entertaining. Yeah, for sure. Just
Yeah.
wait till next year.
Yeah. So we're back to old faces, and
Until Christmas.
Yeah, I think. What?
Until
What's happening?
Christmas.
What's happening then?
Oh, I'll be decking things out at Christmas.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, should we just go in with the updates?
Yes, let's do it. Well, should we start off with our favorite one this week about Aiden's live stream on Sunday? There was a whole thing happening on the live, and then there was a whole other thing happening in the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. And it was like, I wonder if like Aiden was seeing these comments as he was talking to fans. Like,
yeah, I think he saw some, but like most of it probably went by. Because I don't know if when you're doing the live with someone, like, can you see the comments at the same time?
I don't know.
Or do they just
I think so, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I've
I'm
never
not
done
sure.
that, so I don't know. But it did. He had some fans sharing screen with him, and they asked him questions, and it just made me feel like how it was back in like 2016.
Well, and it's like we don't get that interaction anymore like we used to. So this is the most we've gotten in a long time.
Yeah.
Like the most interaction with, because there just used to be so much content, or whether it was tweets or pictures or at least something to do on Sunday during the day. So this has been fun. It was fun. And we are on the hunt for Carl.
Yeah, actually I wanted to mention because one of my friends was talking to him, Aiden, on his DMs. I don't know if I should say this, but I'm teasing you a little that he is gonna have interesting wardrobe next Sunday when he continues these fan questions, and it has something to do with Sir Carl. So
Sir Carl. Carl is missing, and if we knew what he looked like, we could put missing posters up.
Yeah.
But we don't know what Carl looks like.
Yeah. So it's like impossible to know.
Where is Carl?
Yeah.
Hashtag
where he is or who he is.
Carl is missing. Carl?
Yeah. But anyways, he's doing these on Sundays, I think, and I've been loving them because it just gives a little extra like interaction.
Yeah, and it's nice to have like that going up to watching the episode. You know what I mean? Something to do beforehand. So it was fun, and the comments was just a whole situation. It was great.
Yeah. Then we have Bay and True Davis, who had his first episode air this Sunday. He played the teenager Logan. They did an interview with Calgary Herald, and this is kind of like a typical thing with the new season. They have Eric Wolmers do a lot of Heartland.
Oh, did Eric do this one too?
Yeah,
I think he's been doing it since season one, so that's
Heartland guy or something.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love Eric.
Yeah. And I wanted to mention, because last week we talked about Finland having was it 3 seasons at that point streaming? Well, now we have 7, so
half the show.
Yeah, but apparently they're having more episodes next January. So I don't know how many, but
already
they're catching up.
Do you know how well it does there in Finland? Like, is there any way to see stats on that?
I don't know, because they used to have the show on TV, but it only aired up until I think season 7. So that's why they have the rights to 7 seasons right now, because then now they have to
Yeah.
buy more. So I was like wondering, like, what's the point of having 7 seasons if you're not going to show the rest? But
Right.
apparently they'll be having more, so I'm happy
Well,
about
it
that.
has to be doing semi-well if they're bringing in more seasons, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I
Wouldn't-
saw a commercial on TV for it, and when you open the app, it is on. It's like the front page. I don't know if
Oh my
it's just for
God.
me because it kind of knows that I love
Yeah,
Heartland,
yeah,
or
yeah.
is it just like for everyone? But they're really like pushing the
Wow.
commercials.
So is it in Finnish then, or is it in English?
It's in English, but they have Finnish subtitles.
Subtitles? Gotcha.
Because we
Okay.
don't really, we only dub like cartoons.
Oh, so does everyone generally know English there then, or does everyone watch stuff with subtitles?
I think a little bit of both. Like, I think
Gotcha.
we're used to reading subtitles from early age, and because the schooling system is really good here, so people
Okay.
learn to read very, very young, and it's like 98%
Okay.
of people
I wanna
know
live there.
how to read. So that's like helping with like being
Yes.
able to watch shows that are not in Finnish.
I want to come live there.
Yeah, speaking of ratings, actually, I saw this stat thing about Netflix ratings in France and in the UK. This is from January 1st to July 31st this year. And Heartland was the 5th most watched show in the UK and in 3rd place in France.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So it's doing well overseas.
I know, and you see all those comments about how the show's going downhill and all this stuff, and it's like, numbers don't lie, fam.
It's only ramping up, I think. Because like, so like, I know they always say that like it's shown in like 119 countries, but some of the countries are behind and some of the countries don't have access to it anymore or at the moment. So I think now they're kind of adding more seasons all over the world, and the show is only gaining more success, I think.
Absolutely. I think our last update for today, Amber has her 2022 calendar. Is it for pre-order or is it already available? I didn't check, but
Oh, I didn't check either, but I think it might be available at the moment.
I might be getting my hands on a few off the press soon, so
yeah,
we will see. But sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and she has this thing on her like merch store, or what do you call it, on her website, ambermarshall.com. And the proceeds this week are donated 100% to this organization that helps give wild horses a voice. It's called WHOAS or something.
I honestly don't know.
It's WHOAS.
Lows. So is that, I thought it was just the hoodie and the shirt, but is it also the calendar?
I think it's like everything you buy this week. Let me check, because
oh, I thought it was just her new stuff. But anyways, I was telling you yesterday that I don't like how we can no longer see what the back of the calendar looks like. You used to be able to see, and it's like, I want to, like, because I would always go through, it's like, if I don't like it, I'm not gonna buy it. But and they also changed the font, so that's a whole thing.
Oh yeah,
so what's that? Like,
yeah. Okay, so so about the shirts that were on her newsletter, it says you can browse items on my website, so all of the items. I almost forgot to mention this includes 2 new limited edition garments I've added in time for the holidays, a cozy hoodie and a cool tank top, which I love to layer with. They are available for pre-order now. So those are not there yet, but they're coming. And then yeah, about the calendar, it just says it is now here. So I guess
good.
Yeah.
Well, if anyone gets it, whoever gets it first, you gotta post a picture of what the back of it looks like.
Yeah, and if you're
Or send it.
listening to this on Saturday or Sunday, like you still have time to like support the organization.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah. I think that's all this week.
Yeah, let's get to the good stuff.
So this week we had the third episode of season 15 airing. It was called Bad Moon Rising.
Yes.
And we're going to read the fan comments first this week, like we always do. Do you want to start with the...
I start with smoking holsters.
Yeah, it's like a segment now.
Yes, and speaking of that, having smoking holsters on Aiden's live was just like the utmost entertainment ever. Like neither of them are hold back, and it's great. I love that. It's so unfiltered.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was funny. Okay. First off, this was to me at least the most Heartlandy episode so far. I really enjoyed it. Kudos to Drew Davis as Logan. I think he fits right in. I love his character and I hope he stays on. Kudos to Kate Drummond as well. It's not easy embracing a character like Dolores Umbridge, especially the silly grin and the self-centered little sound that always seems to come after making a complete ass of themselves. Okay. Once again, Lindy was great, and in case you're wondering, this is really the way 5-year-olds act if they're encouraged to speak their minds. They're inquisitive as hell, and they call you out on the obvious because they have no walls. There's just no social barrier built in there yet. Anyone else notice the way the twins look at Amber in the scene when they're interacting one-on-one? Now, just to pick on the episode because, hey, that's what we do, there really isn't much to say about Cooper. He's in way over his head, and I really don't understand how he expected to do this single-handedly or just him and a trainer. CPS folks are fickle, by the way. This situation, there would have to be a female at least on night duty for them to leave teenage girls and boys overnight. I can say, having fundraised for years, that donors like Emma Fitzroy are the worst people to deal with. Yes, your money is of course valued and appreciated, but they're troubled kids and they're gonna cause trouble. Seems she wants to say, here's my money, help these kids, without really understanding the whole troubled youth thing. It's not about telling your rich friends, I gave you money, look at me. There was a bright side to the gala. It's pretty obvious in that now that Heartland has been broken into while the kids were at the fundraiser that they're not responsible, so that's that, I guess. I think one of you memed this or re-memed it, but can we not give Jack anything with instructions anymore? I mean, hasn't this story already played? Water troughs, solar panels, etc. It's clear that it's clear that it's Jack's ranch, and if he doesn't want something deep down like anything created before 1980, it's not gonna get done. Let's see, burglaries, I had to say that so many times lately, and an alarm system. Does that come with the side of here's a door with a lock for the loft? Mic drop. Yeah,
I agree a lot of that. Yeah. Rippleish 20 said, another good episode, my favorite so far. The cliffhanger ending is annoying. However, I hate having to wait until next week. I like the new Katie. She opens up a lot more possibilities for the character. I also like Logan. His acting seemed natural. And Lindy continues to have a lot of dialogue. It's funny. I thought the way they had her ask innocent questions and respond to what others says. Why do we need cameras when you told me there won't be anyone to watch, etc. Yeah. This season has its own look and feel, different even than season 14. Paula Westfield confirmed what a terrible person she is. I almost thought when they were filming she might actually be helping. Ha!
Yeah, me too. Me too, fam.
They finally explained that Georgie is training in Florida. I'm guessing Jack's watch, which he forgot when they went to the gala, becomes important later, like in helping figure out who has been breaking into places. I actually wanted to mention that because I have not read these comments before. I watched the episode and wrote down my notes, but I think because Jack left the watch on the table. Right. I think they took it, and because they a big deal about the engraving behind the back. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Well,
gonna
when
be
you see,
important.
yeah, and you see the shot, the angle that Chris Potter, and I like how he did this because it's those small things that's like, okay, this watch is important, clearly, how the camera just, we went close up to it after that scene ended.
Yeah.
Like it's clearly of some importance. So what was it, JLB? Now, I'm assuming it has something to do with his dad.
Yeah, because I was trying to think, do we know the name of his dad?
I know, and I mean, not to be sexist, but is that a watch that June would wear? Do you know what I mean?
Like,
Impossible. I'm not saying it's not possible, but like, you know what I'm
yeah,
mean,
but
right?
like, I don't know if women back in the day, like when she was alive, wore that kind of watches. Like, I'm sure they wore watches, but like,
Was she wearing
different.
in season 12 when they brought June in? Do you know if she was wearing a watch?
I
I'm gonna
don't
Google
know,
it.
but like, I would say no because
I would say
that
I
kind of
know.
watch is not something you wear every day if you're like a farm kid, I would say.
Yeah.
But
That was season 12, right? Yeah.
I also kind of hope that because Lisa was involved being like, oh, what is this? And then in the next episode, maybe she's like seeing how, because if they stole it, maybe it triggers something in Jack. So Lisa could
Clearly,
be
yeah.
like the first one to be like, okay, what's going on with this watch? Like, why is it so important to you? You said it was like a piece of metal or something.
Well, and when we first heard of the whole June situation, Lisa was only had like 2-3 episodes that whole season. She wasn't there for any of that June stuff.
We don't even know if she knows about June.
Literally. I mean, obviously, I'm assuming she does because I remember them having a conversation about Tim using the root cellar in season 14 and how it has special meaning to him because of his sister.
Yeah.
So, I'm just excited. I'm happy that she's gonna be here for this.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, me
But
too. Then Alberta Dream said, I love how many different and new Giza? Is it Giza? I don't know, because I always read it in my mind. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Giza scenes we get compared to the last season. Like Lisa meeting Jack behind the barn, or Giza falling out of the bed due to the ear-tearing alarm going off. Very Giza heavy so far. Love that. Seeing the Heartland house being messed up after the break-in, I felt like Jack in the closing scene, close to crying. I felt like they broke into my own home. That really hurt. Love the new Katie, love Parker, love Lindy, great and talented kids on the Heartland set. I was so happy to see Spartan. I really liked Cooper when he appeared in season 14. Right now, I am not so sure what to think of him. We will see. And then
okay, side note, I just Googled June Bartlett and she wasn't wearing a watch. So
okay. So do you think maybe Jack's dad is like Jackson the First or
probably.
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, who else would it belong to? Unless if it was a gift for him from someone.
Maybe
from June. Oh shit.
Oh yeah.
Damn, that just came, man. That just came out of nowhere.
That would be kind of nice.
That would make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But also, like, what if his dad was also called Jackson and that's why he hates the name?
True.
Because
his dad was an abusive alcoholic, so I mean,
and
I wouldn't blame
him. Mallory was like, Jackson, your name is Jackson, and he was like giving her a death glare.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on. Heartland JL fan said it was such a great episode. I have already watched it twice. I'm loving how much cheese we are getting so far, and that we are seeing Lisa out of the Mitch. Sorry, I think it's supposed to say kitchen, but it says Mitch. Out of the Mitch.
Oh, triggered.
Yeah. Kitchen more. And with the way it ended, we will get her in the next episode too. I mean, that would be weird if she was suddenly like gone.
Can you, like, 4 episodes in a row? Stop it right now. Like, and if there's just more coming.
Like, imagine if they started out the episode with like Lou and Amy and the
Oh
girls
my god,
coming
I'd
in,
be
and
so
she's like,
pissed.
they'd be like, "Oh, Lisa had to go to Fairfield. I guess
No,
they
I will
broke in
throw
there."
fists.
Yeah,
Wait, she wasn't in the preview though. Oh, if they no.
they better not.
Stop it. Do we have any confirmation if she's in it?
I don't know, but you would think,
She has to be. There's no way.
like, if they screw this up, like, I've been waiting for Lisa to be there when something happens
I
with
know.
Jack. Like, anyways, the last scene with Jack broke my heart. I can't imagine knowing that it happened because he accidentally turned off the alarm. Sean did such an amazing job with that scene. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then Stephanie Rowe said, first of all, they finally addressed where Choji has been. It's about time, and then the crying laughter emoji.
Yeah.
I really like Logan. He definitely reminds me of early seasons Ty. I really hope we see more of Amy and Logan working together, and I'm looking forward to getting to know the character more. Like someone mentioned, where was Jessica and Tim? If they were in the loft, wouldn't they have been someone wouldn't they have seen someone breaking in? I guess we're to assume they weren't home for the sake of the blood. We actually see Tim in the next episode, so I don't know about Jessica, but like maybe they've been traveling or
Okay, that's first of all, I didn't like that they weren't in it. It felt so empty. They didn't explain where they were either, which is weird. But then you have Tim in the preview, and the whole shot with him just looked really weird.
yeah, because he was like squinting his eyes, kind of
and
like
the
trying to
lighting
see
looked
something.
different too. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah. Also, I felt so bad for Lindy when the alarm went off. The poor girl just wanted some milk. Again, the twins did a great job this episode. Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
But can we talk about that ending scene? Poor Jack. The look on his face was so heartbreaking. I'm definitely excited for next week. And Chris directing this episode was great. And then clapping hands emojis.
So is the episode on Sunday, or when's do you know when the next break is? Because like I need a warning. We don't know of one yet.
Let me check, because I don't think so far there's like no
like, are we gonna see the whole season before Christmas at this point, or like, are we still having a break?
I think we might see it before, because it like up right now, like when we're filming, we have the descriptions for 5 episodes and they're airing back to back. So I don't know.
Oh my god. Okay, so at least have 5 in a row.
Yeah, but I would guess that they're gonna air everything and then show something else in Heartland's place starting from January.
Okay, so 7th. So we'll have episodes till the 14th for sure.
Yeah, that we know of at this point. Then Walding Andy said, I can't wait till season 15 comes out on Netflix. Just seeing photos and videos clips just want me to see it even more. Well, it's definitely worth the wait.
Yes.
And then Gifty Shage.
We try around here.
Yeah. Where to even start? The season has already been great, but tonight was so good. There is a much better distribution of time for each character this season. I love the setting up for the next week, but no idea how I can wait till then. So this time when Jack has to go back and deal with issues from his past, I hope his wife is actually in it, unlike last time, which really spoiled that for me. An explanation as to where Tim and Jessica would have been helpful, since they weren't at the gala and presumably not in the loft either. My only real complaint about the season is, why is Jessica Steen still not in the opening titles?
I know, not the title, Not the poster.
Yeah,
Hell
like,
will freeze before
like,
anything happens.
and it's honestly like she's playing such a big part in the storylines. Like she's not just like in the background either. Like
No. And it's been 15 years. 15 years.
she's married to Jack. Like what
I
does he
know.
have to do? Kill Amy and take her place?
Don't say that. We're gonna get hate mail.
No, I was just kidding.
No, I know.
No. Then they continue. That has bugged me for a while, but now there are only 4 people, and it's not like Tim is in every episode either, right?
Oh my god. Why do they hate her so much? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, like just there's no like logical explanation for this.
No, there isn't.
Then they finished off with that aside, loving this season, and I can't wait to learn about the watch next week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, me too.
Then Patty Anderson 524 says, does the fact that someone broke in during the gala prove it wasn't the kids from the center? I would say yes.
Yeah.
They were at the gala too. Wouldn't it be interesting if the break-ins are done by Peyton and some of her friends and blaming it on the kids from the center? That Mac kid has to go. Ooh.
That's not a bad theory.
I mean, that would shut Paula up.
So Nina texted me a theory this morning that it's Cooper.
Oh, because of the money?
I don't know. Hold on, let me see what her text said. But like, whoa, I don't know. I get that. I get a weird
twist.
It would, and I would love that. I would love if it was him. That would be. No one would see that coming.
No.
What did she say? Cooper is such a moron. Hopefully she doesn't kill me for this. What is it? She just said, "Oop, Coop's totally the thief."
But like, based on the second episode, was there more than one? So he would.
Yeah, there was 3, I think. I believe there was. It was more, and it was like this Jeep. I don't know. There was 3 people though. I think.
Yeah, but that would be a hell of a twist. I would say, like that would blow my mind.
I know. I'd be so impressed.
Yeah, like I don't know. Maybe he did it with Clint.
Oh my god. Clint's not making enough money.
Yeah, like this is not enough for the like, what I do for a living.
He has a side gig.
Yeah. Just hopping fences and stealing gas and whatnot.
Yeah.
Then Thesa Campos said, I was really touched to see Jack's sadness. They were setting the mood for the break-in, and that scene at the false alarm felt really intense, and I loved it. By the way, like that noise, like that was loud.
I had PTSD, man. And when I was in college and film school, our alarm system was broken, so it would go off all the time. That was triggering. I thought I was waking up at 4 a.m. getting ready to go outside when I heard that noise.
Yeah, you were like taking your coat and grabbing your keys or something.
I was grabbing my valuables and heading for the window. That's what I was doing.
Your dog and...
Yeah, grabs the Heartland merch and dog and heads
like,
out.
Hang on, I can't leave
me
this.
And my $280 blanket and my dog outside. That's all.
That's all you need. Yeah, I don't have any guesses of who could have done it, and I'm curious to know why. Because at Sam's and Paula's, it seemed that they broke into their barns and stole fuel, right? But in Heartland, it was into the house, so I'm intrigued. Lindy is awesome. She is so clever. Loving Bay's Katie too. I really like Logan. And then in parentheses, he's there to remind us of Ty, but in a good way. He's confident, has a good heart, but has something very heavy to deal with. I like his chemistry with Amy as well. Mm-hmm.
See, okay, that I like that because that makes me feel like Amy is helping this kid because she likes spending time with someone who reminds her of Ty.
But I think also just because she's Amy. But I
Horses.
think, she feels, because I think their scenes were like really natural and
Right.
they like had almost a connection right away. And I think maybe
Yeah.
it's because of he reminds me or her of Ty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then Mark Ashton 262 said, "That's more like their Heartland, we know. Now that's interesting. All I'm going to say about it, heart, heart, heart." Yeah. And then HL Horses said, "That cliffhanger though. Jack looked like he was going to cry. Again, the amount of Jack and Lisa is a great surprise. This might sound bad, but I really liked Lisa acting all freaked out on Jack as he was going into the house at the end. No.
Yeah, that was intense.
And she called him cowboy again. I love
Wait,
it
when did she call him cowboy?
I think it was when they were getting dressed for the gala, and maybe she said something like, "You don't look too bad yourself, cowboy," or something.
Oh, okay.
And then
I'll
in
have
the
to watch that
last
again.
episode, I think when they were having
Yes, I
Like-
remember that. I remember her saying that when they were at Fairfield. I can't
Yeah.
recall it happening, but I'll have to watch it for the 8th time.
And we got to
A few
see
moments later.
Yeah. And we got to see everyone in their PJs, and we never see that. I actually
No, I know.
thought that it's kind of interesting. Like, it gives me this, like, almost like I'm not supposed to be there feeling when we see the ranch at night. Because we
Yeah.
usually don't see that because it's like
Not
they're
too often,
sleeping.
no.
Like, what is there to see? Anyways, I actually really like Logan and his connection with horses. Lindy was super cute again. And then you commented, "I keep saying all this Jesus stuff is a sick joke. Never been happier with it." And then they replied, "It's throwing me off. Have we ever had 3 straight episodes with them?" Then some letters, a big storyline in each, or at least having a ton of scenes together. And
Wait, I commented that? That's funny.
No, that's HL Horses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, commenting to you. And then
okay.
Alberta Dream said, "Let's just call it heaven." Yeah.
It is.
Then Maddie Puth said, "I assume it ended in a cliffhanger," to which you replied, "There was
Hell nah. Sorry.
There was a scene in the first promo of Jack sitting on the porch with his gun, and I thought it was in this one, maybe next. Either way, I didn't think it would be that big of a cliffhanger. I was generally surprised."
I was.
Yep. So,
Well, because I really thought that scene with him on the porch with the gun was in this episode, but so I'm assuming next episode it opens right where it left.
Yeah, because in the
It has
preview, it was like late at night, and Amy
there
was inside the
cops.
house with Lindy.
Right.
There was a lot of like mystery in the air.
But like Shay's back as young Jack.
Yeah.
Which is a massive spoiler that somehow managed to be a secret. Like,
I mean, I'm impressed.
Yes.
And we sort of speculated that this episode might end up in a cliffhanger where the Heartland gets broken into in the last episode.
I have to be like in another universe. Okay, maybe it's like I didn't think it would end or I didn't want it to end like that, because it's probably a little bit of both.
Yeah, because we were trying to see if we were talking about if Lisa's going to be involved, and I said she's in the truck, and something like maybe ends in a cliffhanger with the Heartland break-in, and then
Oh my
it happened.
God. My memory is phenomenal.
Speaking of memory, I actually didn't remember that Amy had worked with Challenge before. I was like, huh? You know him? the horse at Koopa's ranch?
Oh, season 14.
Yeah, it was in the finale, but somehow I had forgotten, and I had to go back, and he was this horse that was trying to protect his herd, and then Amy worked
Oh, I thought
with
that was Sam's horse. All right, okay. All right. I think they look the same too, so this is...
But what were your like overall thoughts about the episode?
So like stars-wise, definitely a 4 out of 5. I loved it for the
Agreed.
most part. The only storyline or whatever I didn't like or was cringe was the Cooper thing. Like, who spends all your money on this fancy gala for like children and a CPS case? Like, there's so many better options to go about raising money.
Yeah.
I was like, this is just like,
somehow the way he was about the money reminded me of season 1 Amy, which is funny because if people are trying to like pair them up, it's like kind of like Amy has been there, but now she's like more smarter about the money and like how it should be handled.
So, like, it really isn't too far off to think it could be Cooper who's doing the burglaries, because clearly he's broke because he doesn't know how to spend money.
Yeah, I wonder, like, if this is, like, the why of the whole thing, like, hiding in plain sight. Like, we're just like, okay, he's bad with money, and then we don't.
Do you think Heartland would actually do that? Do you think we're actually going to see who it is, or is it just going to be like, oh, we caught them, bye?
Yeah, like some random...
That would be very Heartlandy for that to happen.
Yeah,
that'd be funny.
That's what I'm expecting, but I hope that it's not that.
I wish I could just ask one question. I just want to know if we're going to, like, find out who it is, or if it's just going to get swept under the rug.
Yeah.
I just want to know.
Yeah. But it would be really good if it was like Cooper, like that, which is...
That's brilliant.
The storyline of like ages, I don't know. But speaking of Cooper and his money, like when Lou was at his ranch, like I don't know if a mayor is supposed to go through.
I know.
But now that I'm like, we've been talking about the money thing, like maybe she spotted something there and it's gonna come back, and she's like, wait a minute, there was this whole thing. Like, what if, like, that would just be brilliant. But
Nina, I think you cracked the code, man.
like, I'm gonna be so impressed if that's what they're going to go with.
That would actually be incredible, because I don't like him, so if they would just get rid of him, that would be great. You know.
But at the same time, I wonder if that would mean that the kids would be like in need of someone else, and maybe
they're
Amy...
like accomplices. I don't know, but they were all at the stupid gala, okay?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's true.
So it's like, that's why part of me is like, we're never gonna find out who it is, are we? And they're all gonna end up in the same well that Carl and Shane are in.
It's the Hudson jail of abandoned characters.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's where they end up.
But yeah, I love the scenes with Amy and Logan. I love that Amy had this, like, because she's great with horses, and I think she's like gotten better with people, and I think
Amy,
yeah, and I think what we talked about, like Logan reminding her of Ty, like even she kind of admitted that.
Yeah.
So I think it was just heartwarming to see that she was like enjoying herself,
that she was happy. And it's like, this is a paying job, so congrats. You know.
Yeah. Then the horse she was trying to form a connection with, because she's trying to channel
for her
for Jessica. Yeah, like I was surprised that they actually included that stepmom comment.
Me too, because you know how every time Lou, Amy, any of the kids introduce Jack and Lisa to someone, they never say who Lisa is to them. So I wasn't sure what was going to happen when Jessica came into the picture. Like, what are they going to call her?
Yeah.
So that was like a delightful surprise.
Yeah, because I've never been in that situation, but I do wonder if, like, when you're an adult and you don't live with the new partner, you kind of don't think of, most of the time, think of them as like a stepmom or stepdad or whatever, because it's just like, well, my dad's new wife or my dad's new girlfriend or something. So I think it was interesting that they brought it up, like that Amy's not really thought about it, especially because it was so sudden, like she said.
Yeah, I agree.
No.
Oh, should we talk about Lou and Peter?
Yeah. Awkward.
Like, I don't get it. Like, why are they making Peter like this? Right? Like, he told Lou everything at the end of season 14, but then never talks to Lou about it again. So he basically single-handedly ruined her wedding. Well, I guess she kind of did that herself, but you know what I mean. He kind of, in a way, enabled her, and then we never hear from him again. And he has to know that she's not getting married. So that was just kind of selfish. And then we never hear from him again. And Lou's like, what the heck? So I'm like, part of me is like, Lou, you should, say something. And I'm like, why isn't Peter saying anything? Where is Peter? Anyways, that was my thoughts all summed up there.
Yeah, and I think maybe I talked about this in last episode or sometime, but like, they really have to do a lot of work for people to cheer for Peter, I think. Like, sure, they like him as a dad for the girls, and like some are like, okay, I'm team Peter, but like, he's not very likable right now, considering like the relationship aspect. Like, he's like, oh, okay, I love you still, and then Lou's like, oh, I don't know, like, you put these thoughts into my head, and now she's kind of like, okay, anything else? And he's not saying anything.
Because I used to like Peter, and then I didn't like him after the season 8 thing. And then last couple seasons, he's just been, I liked having him around, like, this is great. But now it's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And now that there's no Georgie, he really doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, he was always there to see his kids, and like, Katie's not there half the time either. And he's in the season, is he not?
Yeah, he is. And I think they really have to cover a lot of things when he is, because
they better make up for it, because we don't have Mitch. So we need Peter to be on his best behavior, thank you, because this just needs to end.
And like, if this is the way things are going, like Lou having to kind of work for the relationship, I'm like, don't do it, girl.
Well, it's like season 8 all over again. She was the only person keeping the relationship together while he was like cheating on her and wouldn't get a job in Calgary for her. Like, don't do that again. Don't do it again.
Like,
man.
He has to come forward and, like, yeah, she's have had him around more now in a way, but at the same time, like, if he wants to have a relationship with her, like, he also has to do a lot of work to get there, because...
And I just remembered about that scene in the preview with them and the, the lantern thingies. So clearly they get back together. Oh my god, I forgot about that. See, with my memory, it's like I could be surprised 5 times even though I already know it because I forget it. So it's like they're getting back together. When? Why? Why, first of all? And if they just get back together and it's so simple, no. They've literally had such a strong, I don't know about strong, but they've had a relationship for so long, it would be an embarrassment. It would just be offensive if they just put them together just like that.
Yeah,
not
like
after
falling back together, kind of like, oh, this just goes like this, and it's like,
they need help. They need help, professional help.
But
and since he's not going to be, and I know I've talked about this like 50 times, but like Gabe can't be on the show all the time, so is Peter just going to be in Vancouver all the time like it used to be?
Yeah, is this just like, because I would imagine that if they get back together, it's kind of like, well, at least for Lou, and I would hope that for Peter, it's also kind of like, okay, so it's just not about us, it's also about the kids. Like if
Yeah.
we're gonna do this, like we can't just be selfish about it. Like
Yeah.
even
And
if
I
we
guess
have these feelings, like we,
right.
yeah,
And their kids are, well, you know, Georgie's an adult and Katie's getting
yeah,
there. So I mean they are at more stable ages, I think. I don't know. I'm not a parent. Will never be because I don't know these things. But I would feel like if it would be any time for them to get back together, it would be without having such young kids involved.
yeah. But I think either way it's gonna involve or sorry, affect their like family dynamics, because now it's like they have two homes and like two parents who have their lives separate and stuff like that. So if it's all of a sudden like one thing again, it can be kind of like, okay, like they need to wrap their heads around that too.
Yeah, and season 10, season 15 only has 10 episodes, so it's like we're almost halfway through it.
Yeah.
So how much are they going to shove into a season for Lou and Peter? Now, that was also my thought with Tim and Jessica in season 14 because they only had 10 episodes, but I thought they did it great. I didn't feel like it was rushed.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm concerned about here is that they're going to rush it because it's such a small season and obviously Gabe has other stuff.
Things. Yeah. But I think the fact that they already have history together will work to their favor. So
I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because that is the thing that Tim and Jessica didn't have. I see. Okay.
But like,
okay.
It doesn't always work with the new couples. But I think it worked with Jessica and Tim. Like I was surprised.
And I love them. They're like besides Jisa, right? They're like
yeah. I guess if there's chemistry, there's chemistry. I don't know.
Yes, and I mean I think that also has a lot to do with the acting. Like
and the material given to
I'm not a professional, but in my own humble opinion, it's like you can tell a lot by, you know, an actor with their on-screen chemistry because as an actor you should really, if you do your job right, you could have chemistry with anyone. So I don't think it's. So I think that's a Michelle Nolan and Chris Potter thing together because they're both wonderful actors.
Yeah. So I think Peter might come around by the time Tim and Jessica have their celebration.
What is that, 5 or 6?
I think maybe 6.
Oh, that's literally, there's 4 episodes. Oh my god. All right.
Yeah, but okay. I think maybe that'll be a big episode for them and maybe for Tim and Jessica, like, because they're kind of like, it seems like next episode is going to be a big thing for Jack and like they're gonna
and how are they going to explain when Jessica, the character Jessica, isn't there? Like, is she just traveling, I guess? Is that they're going to do a pull of Jack and Lisa or something?
Yeah, like she was in Edmonton taking pictures or something. Or Banff or whatever.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just like the show is so empty. I'll read my actual notes about Tim and Jessica. Where's Tim and Jessica? It's so empty, we can't afford this. So it's
like your memory, like Swiss cheese, like full of holes.
Oh yeah, like a sieve, man, like a sieve.
But I did enjoy Lou's scenes with Rick, like always. I think it was just he's kind of like this Jiminy Cricket on her shoulder, like saying what we're all thinking.
Yeah, well, someone has to.
Yeah, because he was like, well, you didn't have to tell me it was Peter because I could sense from like.
And I liked having him there for the whole Paula thing. Sorry, I put my mic away for the whole Paula thing because Lou was like, yeah, she's batshit crazy. And he's like, oh yeah, whatever. And he was like, oh yeah, right after that whole
Yeah.
dude, what an awful person.
Mm.
Paula, not Rick. I love Rick.
Yeah.
Hashtag
Like,
where's Carl?
yeah. Because like those kind of people are the kind that know how to speak in a polite manner, but then everything else just screams like danger.
Well, she comes from a place of money and power too, so you have a lot to back you up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Power.
Yeah.
And then I love the little moments where Lou's like, I hate being a mayor in the sense that I have to be nice to these like jerks. And then later when Cooper's like, oh yeah, Paula Westfield, like she's pretty big thing here. And she's like, she likes to think so.
She like, yes. Well, I mean, she's kind of an awful mother, first of all. No offense, but
I did like when she was like, oh, where's Georgie? And Lou was like,
I know.
you know, just in Florida. Like, she's going to Olympics soon. And like,
yeah, take that, Paula. So the whole security system thing was hilarious. It was great.
Yeah.
But like Smoke and Holster said, it was kind of like done before in a way. So like every time, or like when Lisa bought him a new phone and he like pocket dialed and all that stuff, was like, we have done this before. Jack should know he sucks at technology.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was still funny. It was still funny. It was great.
Like,
but
I can definitely agree with that. But at the same time, it's kind of like consistent because he's not
true.
Like he got a little bit better with the phone, but not
fair
perfect.
enough. Fair enough. Yeah. Oh, I mean, at least he's trying. Yeah. And recently we recently put cameras up at my friend's place and they looked exactly alike, so I was having some deja vu.
That scene with Lisa, Katie, and Jack and them just giggling.
Yes.
That
was funny. It was cute and funny.
Yeah. I also like that the kids were like concerned about the break-ins, because that's just like,
it's, yeah, I would be too.
Yeah.
I mean, especially nowadays with kids have access to like so many different ways of finding out things, like phones, internet, TV, radio in this case. Like it's not hard to not know things.
Yeah. And I like that even though Parker was there briefly, it just felt like natural. Like she was just like visiting. Like it didn't feel like, okay, well, she's there.
I know they didn't exactly say why she was there. She was just kind of there. So
she was like,
did they say?
Okay,
I don't think so.
No, but she was. She must have been like, okay, so I got this because I'm like smart.
I guess, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I did like that Lindy and Parker scene with Jack.
Yeah. Did you think that the actual burglars were like when the alert went off and Jack took his gun and went outside and no, not alert, the camera trap was ripped?
Yeah, by a raccoon apparently.
Yeah. So did you think that it was actually gonna be?
Oh yeah. Yeah, oh, my heart was pounding, man. And Jack just yeeted himself out of that chair, man. I've never seen an 80-whatever-year-old yeet himself with a gun that far. I'm like, damn, he's more fit than I am.
But he did say later on, he was like, sorry if I'm being slow, but because of all the raccoons and alarms.
He did look tired, though, like, actually. It was like, poor guy, he's not going to get any sleep next week either.
Yeah. But I did like how the scene was shot, like the fog in the background, and like it was.
God bless Chris Potter.
It was kind of like not scary, but like definitely made me kind of go like, ooh, this is like.
And it was kind of fitting with Halloween. Like it was not like necessarily, but it was a suspenseful episode, I think.
Yeah.
So it was cool. Yeah. I liked it.
And because I'm now no raccoon expert, I actually had to Google, like, can you believe? But I actually had to Google can raccoons climb walls?
That's what I thought. I was like, how did a raccoon get up there? And
'Cause
can they climb walls?
Yeah, because I was like, did it drop? And then the raccoon was just like, what is this? Or
It's
was
like,
it
ooh, I'm gonna
like,
take this to the pawn shop.
like, why would a raccoon want that camera? I don't
I
know, but
know. It
apparently
didn't make any sense to me.
they
But...
are very good at climbing walls, according to Google.
Huh?
Yeah. Someone tell me I'm wrong if they have more knowledge about this, but like, I guess because it's a wooden wall, they're able to kind of latch onto.
I guess makes sense.
Kind of like
I don't know why
cats.
they'd want a camera though, but
Does it make a sound? Maybe they're like, oh, what is this?
oh, true. Who knows?
Yeah.
For the sake of the show, we'll just say it makes sense.
Yeah. I did enjoy the scene with Lou and Amy at the barn when Lou kind of had to be like, okay, is it the kids and everything? Because I did think they both had like points. Because Lou was kind of like, I need to like
she
be
had
sure
to,
of this.
right?
Yeah. But then Amy also had a point like, come on, like these kids, like they don't have a chance when it comes to things like this. And I like that how subtle it was that Ty was brought up, and it was just kind of, it showed in a natural way what he meant for them and like how much he changed their perspective of people.
Yeah. Well, and Lou, like, she had to do her job there, and you have to put your feelings aside in those cases. But I did feel like it was too obvious if it was going to be the kids. Like that's just...
And I actually wrote down like if they arrived like week ago, I assume they're not local kids.
No,
So how would they know about the ranches? Like you would imagine that it would have to be someone who knows the ranches and knows the comings and goings of the people living inside.
I'm trying to think. Do you think they brought back anyone, or like what is the storyline? And you know, like, do we still don't think that it's the people who killed Ty, right? Probably not.
Yeah, like why would they?
I know.
Yeah, I think it's someone random, but I'm low-key hoping it's not, but like I'm not setting my expectations too high. And I did enjoy seeing Lou at work because I know that some people have been saying like she doesn't even do anything these days. Like
she has a diner, she has a dude ranch, she's mayor, and apparently she still has open mornings so she can go do some random person's books.
Yep. So I did enjoy seeing that, but like I don't know, like you said, like should she be doing the books? Like is that
conflict of interest, like bidding on your own auction?
Yeah, because like I get that she wants to help, but like, is this gonna bite her in the ass later?
I know, like if someone like Paula found out or something.
Yeah, like, oh, you've been helping him. I see where your interests are. But I did like the overall feeling of community, like just like seeing the mayor office and people at the gala, and then Amy working with the kids and Clint being there.
Yeah, that was I wasn't expecting that. It was just one scene, right? So
he was at the party as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so two. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, it was nice to see him.
It really made me feel like the old times, sort of.
Yeah, you know what? At least they have Clint there because he's been there since the beginning as well. So I mean, it's nice to see faces like that we know.
Yeah, and I did like, because I had like fears that Logan would be either Ty or Luke or Batra, like exact copy, and I think there were some similarities, but I think he was also his own character in a way, because I really like that he was like, he had a bit of a temper, but I can understand why. But he was also he was open to having like these discussions with Amy and telling about himself and just kind of looking after the horses and everything else.
That is different from everyone else that they've had. I agree. Yeah.
And I think,
yeah, I mean, kudos to them for that, because they did manage to make him different from everyone else.
Yeah, and even though he was kind of like cocky in a way, because he did say stuff like I'm not
Don't
afraid.
get too attached to me or something. Yeah.
But it was not like annoying to me, at least.
I didn't think it was annoying either. I thought it was, I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah, and I think Amber played off. Well,
they played off of each other well. Yeah, for sure.
The last thing I have written down is like, how did they manage to get whoever broke into Heartland? How did they manage to get Remy out or not attacking them? Because I was kind of like hoping that she would be kind of the hero. The episode, maybe she had like a piece of fabric on her mouth or like something. But
I see what you're saying. And the part where Lisa's like, oh, they could still be in there, and he said, and Jack's like, that's what I'm hoping. Damn. He's like, once again, 80 something. He's ready, man. He's just ready to beat the hell out of someone with the crowbar. It's great.
But I did like how they build up the scene, like the panic and fear.
It was done so well.
Yeah.
So well. Kudos to the acting and the directing. It was great.
Yeah, and just like when Lisa was like, give me your phone, and like everything, like it was done well, but it was also like chaotic, like you would expect from that situation. Like I think that was amazing. And I think it was like, I noted that when Jack walked in and saw the mass, and then the music was kind of like suspenseful, and then it turned to this like sad tune, and I think
they did that all in one shot, I imagine, so it was brilliant.
Yeah.
I wonder if like Jessica and Sean know that they're literally this they portray this iconic fictional couple for the ages, like 15 plus years. Like that's iconic. That's legendary.
Yeah.
And they're so loved.
Was it on Facebook that someone mentioned like Jack's old or too old, or
Jack looks too old. Make something. Yeah, he looks too old. Hold on, it's on our story. I'll pull it up to make it.
But I was having a conversation with I think it was Alberta Dreams in our DMs, like well, it's what happens, like, and then I was kind of playing with the thought, like, what if Jack was the younger person in the relationship? Like, how would the dynamic change?
Oh, I see what you're saying, because Lisa's a lot younger than him, right?
Yeah, like, it's just interesting that in a way it's like you don't notice the age difference, but then like, would that change if it was the other way around?
Right. That's intriguing.
Yeah.
Okay, the comment says, Margie, they got Jack looking too old, make him younger. Thumbs up.
What are you, plastic surgeon? Or
if only that's how aging worked, man.
Yeah, like we all wish.
We're over here complaining because they're not making him old enough, and then we have Margie on Facebook saying that he's too old. What does that mean, Margie?
Yeah, he's like 600 years old, like.
Yeah. In dog years.
I wonder if they're going to stick with this timeline in the next episode.
Oh God, don't say that to me. Nothing pissed me off more than the timeline. The timeline and the plot holes from the whole Jude and oh God. Don't say that to me.
Well, I'll just change the subject, man.
Okay,
because I wrote something down. Doesn't really have to do with the episode, but kind of overall thing for the show.
Okay.
Like, do you feel like the approach to handling wild horses has changed over the years. Because I always felt like with the older seasons, like it's been a while since I've seen them, so maybe I'm wrong, but I always felt like they were kind of like, let them be free, and all that kind of like, you can't tame Coast because
all the
wild.
ghost storyline.
But now it's kind of like, well, the wild horses need our help. I don't know if this is something that's changed overall in the world, or if this is just like
for the sake of the show.
Yeah.
That it could be either or, honestly, because clearly, like, according to Amber's fundraiser, they need help, and she has one of those.
Yeah,
she has a wildie right now. Like, I think that it could just be, and like the Pike River Call and all, they're trying to get rid of all these wild horses because there's too many. I mean, I guess it does make sense for her to be channeling them now.
Yeah.
Maybe it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know that much about.
Because her newsletter where she wrote more about the cold and like other horses, wild horses she's dealt with within a year, and it made me think like, okay, Heartland has a lot of those themes as well, but also like, because I always thought like back in the day they were all about like letting the wild horses be free, and I think they still are to some extent, but then seeing in this episode like where she was like, okay, I'm gonna pick that pain over there and channel him for Jessica. It just kind of made me like, like,
yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah,
that's definitely a change, and I think it could be a little bit of both reality and for the sake of the story.
And if anyone knows more about that or like anything, like
slide into the DMs, fam.
And this Sunday's episode is called Sins of a Father, airing November 7th, and again directed by Chris Potter, so that's good.
Chris. Yeah, it's been nice.
The description for the episode says, after a break-in at Heartland, unwelcome memories of his father flood Jack. Amy and Logan work with the wild horse, and Tim and Parker form an unlikely duo to find the stolen goods.
What?
Like, at least the watch was taken. I would imagine, like, the first thing that came to mind was Parker is probably, like, going through, like, online auctions and stuff like that to see if the watch is there. And Tim's like, oh, show me more, or something.
Oh my god. I haven't read the description till you just, my god.
Well, now you...
How are they gonna... Okay, alright, I'm intrigued. This is great.
Yeah. It just seems like the season is getting better and better with each episode. And I think...
I know, it really is.
Aiden mentioned on his live that the next episode is gonna be good for Rick.
Oh, really? Rick's in it too? Okay, that's good.
I think he said that, or the 5th episode. I don't know. But like,
I wonder if Paul is in Kate Drummond, Paul, whatever, is in the rest of the season. I don't think so, right? If anything, she would
not,
be...
but I don't know.
Yeah. Not according to the info we have, but...
Yeah, it just seems like maybe this is kind of her storyline and that's it. Yeah. But I think that's it.
I think that's it. I think that's it. Hey, how was your birthday weekend?
Oh, it was good. I had a friend over on Friday, and then I went to see a couple of friends in another city, and we had a small Halloween party. And
ooh, did you dress up?
Yeah, I was Little Red Riding Hood, but also kind of wolf hybrid.
That's brilliant. Wow. Yeah. Well, you're like a whole year older since last time we podcasted.
Yeah, do you see the wrinkles?
Yeah, they're just spewing out of your pores, man. Everywhere.
But we went to a restaurant and we had a like table booked and everything. And then it was this like Spanish style restaurant or Mexican or something.
Oh, Mexican?
Yeah. And then like I understand that they had a busy night, but I had to wait for my dinner or the
Yeah.
thing for an hour.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but then
You would have like aged a whole other year by then.
true. But then my friends and I were kind of like, it's been an hour. Like we don't want to be like rude, but like it's been an hour
Yeah.
and like that's a long
Yeah.
wait. And they were like,
That's
oh my gosh.
ridiculous. Yeah.
And they had some kind of mix up in the kitchen, and then they were like, okay, we're gonna give you like 50% like
Oh, nice.
of the like,
Hey, I'll
yeah.
wait an hour for food.
And
if
then
it's
they were
gonna be
like,
cheap.
do you want like a drink? Like it's on the house. And I was like,
Hell yeah.
sure. I mean, it's a non-alcoholic even. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, sure, bring it on.
YOLO.
But yeah, it was good overall. And
That's good.
yeah.
That's good.
I also wanted to mention quickly, because I was watching this show called Only Murders in the Building, or
Oh, on Disney? Is it on
Plus.
Disney?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there was it's a, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's
I
a
know of it.
show about this like trio of people making a podcast about true crime, about a crime that happened in their building. So
Oh
it's
my god.
interesting in that way. But then in this episode that I watched, they had fans there, and they were trying to piece everything together, and the fans were like, well, we have theories. And
Oh my god.
one of the people were like, actually, like, why don't we bring them in? Like, they know this material better than anyone. And I was like,
Uh-huh.
that's us.
That's us.
Yeah.
That is us. 100%.
Yeah. So
they would be doing everyone a favor by bringing us on.
Yeah, because they went over like the theories, and then they were like, oh, you can't say that because that thing happened and that doesn't make sense. And they were like, all right. And I was like,
Yeah.
that should
Those
be
are
us.
fun conversations to have. I enjoy it.
But it was funny that they were like so on point about everything. And
Yeah.
then the like
Relatable.
narrator said like, being in a fandom is like being married, because you don't quit when it gets hard. Like you just work on it. And I was like,
or you take a break like 2018.
Yep. But I was like, yep, that's exactly
triggered
how it is.
Yes, that's very accurate.
Yeah. But just wanted to mention that because we've been kind of talking about it.
We have.
Yeah.
So if anyone very important is listening,
yeah,
we'll leave our phone number below.
Not mine. I don't want
Text
anyone
me.
to call
I don't.
me. Yeah.
Do not by any means call me. I don't care if there's a death. I don't care if I'm on fire. Text, please. If there was an option to not have calling, I'd have it, but it doesn't exist. So
what was that headline about that lost person?
Oh, there was a lost hitchhiker who was lost like for a very long time and refused to pick up the phone when the police called because didn't like talking on the phone.
Yeah.
Very relatable. I would do the same thing. I'd rather die than pick up the phone. I don't care who it is.
I'd be like watching over my shoulder for bears and stuff, and they'd be like, "Who's
100%.
calling me? Like, stop!"
Yeah. No.
Yeah, that's me.
That's me too, man.
Anyways, I guess till next week.
Keep your nose clean and your powder dry, as they say.
Sure, Clint.